Hi, everybody, wherever you may be, from coast to coast and sea to shining sea, welcome back.
Switched on my radio, I heard nothing but noise. Spent all this money on all these toys. My tower is high, so my signal you should not lose.
This is Ham Radio Live, show for radio. People who love radio. Yeah, whatever kind of radio it is, we're glad you're along. This was Adam's request, November Yankee 5 Echo.
Signal so weak, there's still a lot to do. You can jump right into digital, so much that is new. PSK, FD8, computers work each other while you snooze.
Called the bottom of the cycle
All this
blues.
Working without talking gives me the bottom of the cycle blues. And when the grid goes down, I will be there. And when there's no one else around, I can be found on the air. Passing messages via the sun, and I'm still having fun after all of these years.
It's Adam's request. November Yankee 5 Echo, bottom of the cycle blues. Fun song, really is. For around the world, welcome back to the Shack in Oregon. This is Ham Radio Live. Welcome back, everybody. Happy Thursday. This could be a fun show. We'll have a great time today. We're going to talk about filters, talk about radio filters, how to use them, how you can adjust them for your needs. We're also going to do a lot of work with the HF activity group today. We'll show about propagation, what it's currently like, as well as a key weather segment that will hopefully help you understand space weather just a little bit more so that you understand how it affects HF. And hopefully we'll be able to make it understandable. All right? Welcome to the show today. We'll get to welcome in just a moment. First, I want to tell you how you get an amateur radio. You contact a national club first. They're going to get you a local club near you that's going to help you get your ham license. Okay? Contact someone like the American Radio Relay League at www.arrl.org. Contact us button. Let them know where you're located. They'll send a ham radio club that's close to you, even if you're not in the States. Please contact them and get your ham radio license. Now's the time to do so. If you'd like to ask me a question, maybe a comment or a suggestion, maybe you have a photo or video of your work, please send it to me at cqhamradiolive@gmail.com. Today is the day for the WRMI CQ calling show. It's going to be to Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East here to about we're in 7 minutes away at 15,770 kilohertz. Also, that show will be rebroadcast on Friday at 21:15 UTC at 7780 kilohertz. North America has a show Thursday, 7:30 p.m. It's tonight on 9395 kilohertz. And Caribbean, Central and South America have the show at WRMI, 8:15 p.m. Eastern on 9955 kilohertz. That show, by the way, is retransmits, broadcast right there on their internet stream at www.wrmi.net. Welcome to the show, everybody. Very happy Thursday. First up, the very first person to come into the show today, that is Rod, all the way in Pennsylvania. Rod, welcome to today's show. Nice to have you, buddy. Welcome. Happy Thursday, my friend. Phew. Been watching the weather your way. Man, it's just not quite warming up yet, but I hope it does soon. John Stevens, welcome, John. Whiskey Bravo 4, Hotel Zulu Alpha. A very happy Thursday to you and yours, John. I hope you're having a good day today. Mike in Jacksonville's back. Hi, Mike. Kilo Delta 2, X-Ray Delta. I'll trade your 70 degree for my 45 degree any day of the week, mate. Okay. Hi, Anton. Papa Charlie 4, Alpha Delta. Welcome from Holland. It's nice to have you. Gary Strong's back. Hi, Gary. Whiskey 9, Papa Yankee. Chris is here from Scotland. That's DX Scotland. Welcome, Chris. Thanks again for the photo of your son. Boy, what a great picture yesterday. That was fun. Rod Clare. Hi, my friend. He's here from just about 10 miles to the east of me in Salem, Oregon. Kilo 7, Lima Alpha Papa. Welcome back to the show. It's good to see you. Steve, good evening, mate in the UK. Mike 7, India Whiskey Hotel. William Myers, state of Wisconsin. Hex Beam making calls to Greenland right there. Kilo Alpha 8 Golf India Mike. That's pretty cool stuff again. Wow, what a call. Good for you. Third Continent, my buddy, probably one of my best friends on the show. That's Glenn Stevenson. And Glenn, it's good to have you. Thank you, mate. BK is in the house. We probably won't get VK on the radio today, but we got him here, and that's great. Glenn, thanks. Kevin, howdy, everyone. Glad to be here. Am I the only one who schedules daily activities around 20 UTC? Okay. Now, first of all, it's a nice compliment, but thank you very much for that, Kev, very much. Thank you very much. Wow. Kev's here from the Iowa, from the Iowa. Right. Okay. Well, you know how this show is going to be going now, right? It's going to go really good. No. Yeah. Okay. The Iowa. Kevin's here from the beautiful state of Iowa. Kevin, welcome. Kilo 0, Kilo Lima, Bravo. And Ken is here. Hi, Ken. Oh, gosh. Kilo 4, Hotel Yankee Victor. He's telling us it's 80 degrees in Orlando. No. Hamcation's coming. Yeah. Next week. Yeah, the 11th through 13th. Hamcation. So a week from this coming weekend, and you can get some great deals on stuff. ICOM's going to have a booth there too with some really cool stuff. Don't miss it at Hamcation with the ICOM booth. Boy, what a great thing to be able to say we're finally having a ham fest again, right? Jeez, man. Can enjoy those 80-degree weather days. Gunter, DK50NV is here from Germany. Gunter, welcome. It's nice to have you. We're grateful that you came today. Let's get in the weather. We got a lot to talk about here, okay? The A1A, here's what it looks like. And for most days, this is a really good A1A. Your backside view of the sun, there's 5 sunspot regions still active. The coronal hole map looks like this. And take a look. Both are facing Earth, okay? So if any coronal hole, ejections, coronal mass ejections hit, they're coming our way, and it depends on which way that the geomagnetic field is facing Earth, how much the solar wind is going towards the Earth, in what direction, So it's facing south. It can really mess up our propagation significantly. High noise floors, lots of problems. You can even do an HF blackout. But currently, let's just kind of take a look at things. Here has been the last 3 days. Things have stabled out according to the sun. We haven't had many flares at all, so nothing really to speak of. But let's look at this. There's a couple of slides back to back that's going to show you exactly what's happened today, all right? Earlier today at 1809 GMT, SFI 128, solar number 75, A was 12, K was 4, okay? Your BZ latitude is positive 1.0, high solar wind though, 544.6 kilometers per second. Then look at the HF band conditions, okay? There's a reason why they were that way. Okay, noise floors were pretty high. I mean, I was on the HF activity group. 17 was loud, 15 was loud, 12 was loud, 10 was really loud. So a lot more noise on the bands. Rack off on the preamps. It'll help you because it's a little bit noisy. Our current conditions have changed just a little bit. It's because of the K index. Now, this was the K index at 1809. Here's the K index at 1954. It's down to a K3. So see, at 1809, it was a K4, which means you're in the middle of an active geomagnetic field. An hour and a half later, we are unsettled, but better conditions. That's why the HF conditions flipped. If you look back again, the original one from 1809, everything is poor or fair. But then as the K index dropped, things got better. It's because of noise floors. Here's exactly what the K index did. Earlier today, we were all the way at a K5, and then we dropped to K4. We're currently down to a K3. MUFs worldwide, Alaska, 13.13, Boulder at 24.31, Ascension Island, 46.89, Hermanus, South Africa is at 15.75, Athens, Greece, in the middle of the night. Look at that. I'm not sure about that number, to be honest with you. It says 27.34. That's really high for a northern city in winter to be that high. So we'll take a look in a moment. I just don't buy it. Nive Island waking up to 24.65. Kilo Charlie 2 Golf map kind of pulls out the Athens thing. It just isn't there. I mean, it's just not there. So Athens, you're probably more like on 11 megahertz instead of being way up on, 10, or 12 meters. If you're in Europe right now, you're pretty much 40 and 80 meters all the way east, west, and to the west coast of Australia. Fantastic conditions. In the U.S., you've got great conditions on 10 meters, 12 south, and it works south. It really does. It's fantastic. East-west, not so much right now, and this really bears it out. Take a look at East Coast to West Coast U.S. and the difference in MUFs. I made a wonderful call to Jose, X-Ray Echo 1 Delta Juliet Lima earlier on 10 meters, and this is why, because 10 meters was open to me in the northwest, and it went straight down into Mexico. This is a really good example of MUFs and using them effectively. I couldn't hear Jose very well on 15. I heard him better on 12, and as 10 came up, his signal came up. So look to work south today. You should find better conditions that way. Your ham and shortwave forecast powered by ICOM. ICOM for the love of ham radio. Voice bands in the north, 20, 17, 15, and some 10 meters in the northern hemisphere, and work it south. Equatorial latitudes 20, 17, 15, 12, and 10. Southern Hemisphere today 20, 17, 15, 12, and 10. CB radio skip Northern Hemisphere short openings 11 meters wide open in the mid and south latitudes. Your data 30 to 10 meters in all latitudes. Nighttime voice bands tonight for ham radio 160, 80, 75, 60, 40, 30. Best DX in the north will be on 40 and 80 meters. Remember, check your MUFs. Make sure you are transmitting as close to the maximum usable frequency as possible. Your signal will go as far as it can. 20 is going to work great in the south hemisphere. About an hour to an hour and a half after sunset. Great DX on 20 in the south. So please work it. And then a gray line. Make sure you're working towards the MUF and watch how far the signals go. Shortwave bands today 31, 25, 22 in the 19 meter band. Shortwave nighttime bands 120, 90, 75, 60, 49, 41, 31, 25, 22, and the Southern Hemisphere, 100% chance of 19 meters for about an hour to an hour and a half after sunset. Have a question for the day. The day's topic question: what is your favorite nighttime band to work? I need a drink. Your favorite nighttime band. A lot of people, now, don't think obviously 40 meters, okay? Sometimes this can depend on the time of year. It can. For example, at the solar, when you're at summer, right like in the north, right, the 21st or so of June, in the south, the 21st or so of December. 20 meters is amazing to work at night because you can work at a couple of hours and work along, like halfway around the world a lot, right? But in the winter, 40 meters and 80 meters are phenomenal to work. You work around the equinoxes, right? You get those equinox calls, and you get to work great gray line on 40. You can work great gray line on 20. There's some amazing stuff nighttime. Interested to see your comments. We'll put that part of the show. What's your favorite nighttime band? Before we get along too far, we'll go up to the crow's nest. We'll visit with the Angry Hams and see what they have to say.
Sing, baby boy.
I don't know, but we're high enough up to find out.
There's the Angry Hams for you for today. we just gotta have a lot of fun with the Angry Hams. Glenn in Australia, how did they take a photo of the back of the sun? Well, that's a great question. There's a satellite that's behind it, and that satellite transmits images back to Earth of where the sunspot regions are on the back of the sun. That's a really good question, Glenn. Great question. Yeah. Let's take a look at it real quick, and you get an idea. This is it right here. It's called the Stereo Ahead EUVI 195 satellite, and that's it. It actually looks at the backside of the sun. It's within a geostationary orbit on the backside of the sun. Keeps a good look at the sunspots, so we know exactly what the sunspots are looking like. So, great question, mate. That's really good. Thanks, Glenn from Australia. That's a great question. I'm doing something. Ash, wish me luck. I'm doing a Zoom meeting tonight for a wonderful friend, Greg Robinson. He wants me to talk about space weather, and I just hope that I have the wisdom to do a reasonable talk on that. We'll have fun on his Zoom call tonight. We're going to do that. He's part of the CW Ops group. He helps to teach CW to people. Greg's a real wizard at that. He's also done amazing work for me helping to get the urban beam built. I owe him a lot. So, Greg, I owe more than just doing a Zoom meeting, that's for sure. Yeah. My mate, this is Uncle Harold, all the way in Canada. Welcome, Uncle Harold. That's going to be your name now on the show. Uncle Harold. Just change the emoji, okay, to like an old man. Don't do that. Let's call him OD. We'll call him Uncle Harold because that's really what we should call him today because he is a special dude. He's a good friend, too. Harold, welcome to the show. It's nice to have you. Michael 1212, Baldwin Park, California is in the house. Hi, Mike. Good to see you. Mike, you're too good to me, man. You guys are very kind, and I do appreciate it. This is a lot of fun to do this. We appreciate that. Thank you. What happened? Will Meyer said something. What was that? Let me catch up with Will. Something happened. Sorry if this is a newbie question. I'm still learning. Question is, Larry, can you explain the advantage of using the 10-meter band instead of 20, assuming MUF is high enough? And that is, and all, excuse me, is there any advantage other than 10 isn't open as often as 20? Great question. It has to do with maximum usable frequency. You know, William, our signals go great when we go and try and match them to the MUF. So if the MUF in your area, okay, when we look at this map, and this is not a newbie question, this actually is more like an amateur extra question, it really is. When we look at something like this, okay, and it shows us megahertz, and we show the lines of where they go, okay, and you look at where you're located, right? Try and match the MUF as close as you can. For example, let's say that you're in the state of Colorado. Okay, Colorado is close between 24 and 26 megahertz. That means 12 meters should be great in Colorado, right? But if you're in Southern California, 29 megahertz is open. That means down there they're going to be using 10 meters. So try and use the MUF that's really close to where you live, and you're going to find that you're going to make some amazing calls because that's right about where the MUF is charged the best, and you'll make your longest calls. And oftentimes, I'll tell you, you'll see it today in the segments I did on the HF activity group. People that are close to you on daytime bands, even 20, so it'll be 20, 17, 15, 12, 10. If they're within 500-600 miles, you're not going to make the call. And the reason why is you're in the skip zone. Signal goes up to the ionosphere, back down after it refracts, right? Well, there's an area that's in between. You're not going to hear them, okay? But people a long ways will. 1,000, maybe 2,000 did, and that's what the SIG reports were. What's neat about the HF activity group, and by the way, I really highly recommend that you guys go there and just have fun, literally have fun. It starts at 17:30 UTC. That's 12:30 p.m. Eastern time here in North America. They start on 17 meters at 18.157.5 megahertz. That's 18.157.5. If you just remember 18.157 and a half, you'll have it. But it's a phenomenal group. All you do is you make sure you give your calls in every 10 minutes because you're on frequency, right? And then you give a CQ call. And then people who are hearing you throughout North America and the world will tell you where your signal report is where. It's phenomenal, it really is. For example, Jose in Mexico today. I had a little bit of a problem on 15, a little bit. 12 was a little bit better, and 10 was dynamite. But then again, the MUFs were going south. Everything south was great. So look at those MUFs. It'll help you tremendously in amateur rate. It's not a newbie question. This goes up a ways, and I would say probably full license in the UK. So great question. Let's catch up with you guys around the world. Make it all part of the show, okay? At least you guys are asking for more likes, so bless your heart. Lewis Klein. First, to answer the question, Lewis, thank you for joining us today. His call sign is Whiskey Alpha 3 Kilo Kilo Bravo. Welcome to the show. It's nice to have you, Lewis. Thank you. He says 60 meters, FT8 uncrowded with good DX. 60 is really a great place to be. You know, we don't use it or talk about 60 enough because it's the 5 channels, right? We talk 5 distinct channels, although they're frequencies, right? But 60 is really kind of a special place because it's not crowded like 40 and it's not, busy like 10 could be sometimes on 10 megahertz. So on 30 meters, you get a little bit more because everything is digital there. But you go to 60 and it's a mix. But because hardly anybody uses 60, a lot of FT8 people do, and they make calls around the world. Lewis, that's a great comment. Really is. Right. I blink, and there it is again. CW, look, 30 meters. Take a look. Yep. Again, it's a data frequency. And so you don't have to worry about all these guys messing around with big bandwidths and playing, ESSP and stuff. 30 meters is digital. So it makes it easy to work CW or FT8 or RIDI or whatever you want to do. Great comment. Thank you for joining us today. It's nice to meet you. Chris in Scotland, back in the 80s, I could work 10 meters right through the night. My favorite low band is 80. Yeah, 80 can be very loud in the summertime, spring, summer, fall, but it really works well in the winter. It's a great band. Oh, it's great. Gunter in Germany, DK5ONV, 40 meters, my favorite nighttime band. And there's some really good nets, and he's part of one of them. The Big Gun net is there, which is really good. Mike, my second favorite band is 60 meters. I think he means at night. And that's And that's a great band, either 60 or 40. Both will work great for you. They really are. There's a reason why shortwave does well in the 49-meter band. Okay, and usually it can be heard winter, spring, summer, fall there. It's because it's a wonderful frequency for nighttime. Really is. Now in the summer, it can be a little noisy because of thunderstorms and stuff, but it's a great band. Really is. Ken, he says, I'd have to say 40 meters for nighttime. Good comment. Yeah, 40 works great. And there's a lot of people on 40 that are working DX nets too. Seriously. Steve in the UK, Mike 7, Indy Whiskey Hotel. Still can't stop laughing at that QSO. Stop saying my call sign. Yeah, I haven't said your call sign once. Not once. I think they'll be a part of the show for a long time. Mike's second favorite nighttime band is 60. There you go. That's what I thought. Yeah, 60 meters. Okay. Yeah. Mike, I was on the HF activity group today on 17, 21, and 24. Great. That's good. I thought I heard him say Sierra X-Ray Delta. I thought I heard oh gosh. I got to look at my notes because they're like all scribbled right here. Whiskey 6 Sierra. No, not that one. It was Kilo 5 India Golf Oscar. I thought he was mentioning you once on there. He had a great signal today. So did Ricky out of Georgia. Great signal. And Jose out of Mexico was just screaming today. Just a great one. Rod in Pennsylvania, tell Mike 50 was on your G.I. Joe Mad Toy Radio. No. Oh, you guys, stop it. No fighting amongst yourselves. Let's get into the guests that are coming. We're grateful they are. Charlie is going to join us from Red Summit RF. His call sign, November Juliet 7 Victor. He's going to talk about great ways we can work radios portably. And this is a great thing for people who work out, if you got, like, for example, if you live in a city that's got lots of noise, right? Big cities, even medium-sized cities or small ones, you can have a lot of, noise, natural electrical noise, or QRN. Okay. Those things can cause you problems, but when you pull your radio outdoors and you work it out away from all of that, man, it's like it's a brand new radio. Charlie's going to show us how to take advantage of that. That's going to be on Saturday, February 12th, 20 UTC. Remember, in the UK, that's going to be 8 p.m., 9 Western Europe, 10 in the eastern part of Europe, 7 a.m. along the east coast of Australia, noon Pacific. Please join us for that. The following weekend, Jeff Doran, November Juliet 2 Union Sierra, talking about beverage antennas. Now, you can build your own. Now, remember, you've got to transmit real well, but also receive. And this is an amazing way your ham radio will receive. I want to thank Jeff for joining the show on the 19th. Following that, Tom Poyard, Alpha 92 Golf Whiskey, going to talk about using a really affordable adjustable whip antenna. That's cost you under $100 ship for the most part, and you can make some transcontinental contacts with this darn thing. Seriously. Going to be on Saturday, February 26th at 20 UTC. Then the Smokin' Ape joins us again. That's going to be fun. I'm so excited for him to come. That's a great picture of him, too. That's not his house nor his ham shack. It's just a nice green screen. No, it's great. Seriously, I am so grateful he's coming. We're going to have a ball talking antennas. We're going to talk YouTube. We're going to talk about his personal life, everything. It's going to be great. I'm not going to do that. Join us for the 8th, March 5th, 20 UTC. It'll be a ball. We're going to kill it on ham radio. We really are. We really are. Today's topic, what's your favorite nighttime band in ham radio? We're going to talk filtering today, too. Filters on your radio, what they do, how they work. Because, again, this channel is about helping new people or people who want to get an amateur radio and explaining how things work. Okay, we've talked a little bit about preamps. We've talked about attenuation. We're going to talk filters today and how they work and really how you can work them on an ICOM rig. And what I love about most modern radios is they remember your settings, right? If you run 21, for example, 21 megahertz, it remembers what you did last time there and everything stays the same. I love modern rigs because they do that. You don't have to reset everything right and then fiddle with them for 3 minutes and then start making calls. It makes it easy. And we're going to talk about that today for filters. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoy the show. We'll talk about that today. Andy New from the UK, Mike 7, Charlie Union November. Don't have a favorite band yet. I guess any band where signal's coming in well. That's good, Andy. And you'll learn. You'll learn the bands that work best for you. It just takes a little time. For me personally, I 40 meters is fun in the winter. 20 is my band in the summer. So it's kind of hard for me to choose, honestly. Gunter, looking forward to Charlie joining us. I am too. That'll be a fun show with Charlie. He's a nice guy. Daniel from New Hampshire. Nope. That's his QTH. He lives in an abandoned parking lot. Is that right?
No!
Daniel from New Hampshire. That's great. And Chris, right. He has a great YouTube channel. And what makes the Smokin' Ape cool, he's not full of himself. He's really a genuinely kind guy. And you can tell, right? If you can't tell by now, people on YouTube are kind of a little self-promoting. Yeah. It's pretty easy to tell the self-promoters. He's not one of them. We're looking forward to him coming up. Will Myers, thanks, Larry. You did a great job answering my question. Now I understand. I use the MUF map that you show as well as the MUF map on Geochron. Work as close to, but not over the MUF. Yes, don't work over it. And keep in mind, the MUFs change literally every 15 minutes, so you really need to keep up on it. The one I show you now is already expired. So if we were looking at it now, they would change, right? Europe would much more be on 40 meters than they were before. And in North America, you'd see the 10-meter band starting to slide up a little bit. But again, it's working great to the south. It really is. The only signal I could really hear on 10 today was Jose in Mexico and Charlie on his, Ricky on his directional antenna out of Georgia. So then directionals make a big difference. Yeah. Daniel, Ape, also why we all say toroid. Here they come. Toroids. Oh my gosh. All right. The show is degrading at this point, and I want to thank you for that because frankly, I always do this show to have fun, and then thankfully when it degrades, I could just step back and say, it's not my fault today. It's not my fault.
When I say whoa, I mean whoa.
Exactly. Jason Dunnington, my dear friend in Oregon City, Oregon. Jason, welcome, buddy. It's good to see you. He's like a son to me. I love Jason. Good guy. I've known him many years. Great bowler. Oh my gosh. This guy. Jeez. I don't know why he doesn't go on tour. He's really good at bowling. He really is. And don't laugh about bowling. There's guys that make good money doing that. And he's really good. My favorite band is Def Leppard.
No!
I like him too. There you go. And pretty soon what's going to happen in the stream is everyone's going to talk about their favorite bands now. So we're going to just go towards band. I'll take Uncle Harold. Puts me in great company with Uncle Gunter. There you go. We got two uncles here. Uncle Gunter and Uncle Harold. There you go. Two continents. Greg. Hi, Greg. Kilo Fox Zero, Charlie Union Zulu, all the way from Iowa. Good afternoon, Larry. I like some AC/DC. Here comes. There's a great band to listen to at night. I meant radio bands. Let me change the question for goodness sakes. Guys are taking it wrong. That's great. Adam in Ocala, Florida. Favorite nighttime band. Love the rare occasion 17's open and available late to the south. Low noise, no crowd, and you'll find out who's paying attention to the MUF. It's true. Yep. Gray line. That's right. As the sun's coming down. And you know your MUF still supports 17 meters because the D layer has not come in yet, right? And you've got an MUF that's right there about 18 and a half. And then you take a look where it's 18 and a half somewhere else, and you work it. It's magical. Adam, it's true. Yep, you're right. 17's where a lot of DX is done. Chris, when I say, whoa, stop saying, my gosh, don't you guys just won't stop with this, will you?
Stop saying my goddamn call sign. I talk to who I want to. I'm an American. You don't tell me what to do.
Jeez, you guys love this guy. The angry ham. I will not. I promise I'll keep those, okay? Will Myers, to answer your question, Larry, I don't have an antenna for anything lower than 20 meters, so no operating after or before the gray line. 160, 80, 40 antenna is my next antenna project for summer. You'll love it. You'll love it. It'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, there you go. No, never Papa Larry. No. Thank you. Thank you, and good night, everybody. Okay. Will Myers from Wisconsin, but my wife says no more antenna projects till the hex beam's on the mast. Well, you know what you do? You buy her a gift. That's what you do. You go buy her a gift. You say, honey, I've been thinking about you a lot. I really have. And I love you. And there's not enough times I tell you how much I care. And, I've been thinking that this bracelet would look beautiful on you, dear. It really would. And I think honestly that, you should wear this because I love you and I want you to know I'm thinking of you. It'll always be around your wrist, right by your wedding ring. You could do, would you please take this from me? And then you wait a day and you say, honey, thinking about that 40-meter antenna. What do you think of that idea? And usually, by that point, they look down at their bracelet and they say, oh, go ahead and buy the thing. Have a good time. After they find out it costs less than the bracelet. That's great. That's great. All right. Todd joins us, the state of Kentucky. Welcome, my friend Todd. Kilo Yankee 4 Tango Golf. Welcome to the show. Gunter, how high off the ground can you go for installing a 160-meter antenna? Yeah. It's true. Yeah. Even a 160, if you're up 60, 40, 50 feet, somewhere in there, 60, 40, 50, you should do fine. Yeah, you should do fine. It's just got to be a lot of wire. 232 feet of wire for 160. A lot of wire. Grumpy R is and he says, don't confuse me with the angry ham. I'm more refined.
Stop saying my goddamn call sign. Do you understand?
Okay. David Luricia, welcome. That is continent number 4 right there. South America. Welcome, Dave. Good afternoon to you. I like to make QSO with JA and HLs at 5 a.m. in Argentina on the 40-meter band. Yeah, 40's brilliant. Like butter. It's like butter, just smooth. Really is. 40's kind of one of those bands like 80's. 80 and 40 are the same. In the winter, they're best friends. But in the summer, they are loud because of all the atmospheric and static crashes going on, right? So you hear them. So 80 and 40, kind of Jekyll and Hyde bands, but man, wintertime, 40 is brilliant, just brilliant. Steve, in the UK, I'm the same, thinking NFED halfway for 40, 20, 15, and 10. You will love that. And William, you're a wise man. Trust me, it works. It does. It does. Oh, it works. Yes, it does. Yeah. And flowers. Do the flowers, the nice little bracelet or something. Honey, I've just been thinking about you. Yeah. You just, I love you so much. Yeah. Andy, you have to know the right frequency to hear Def Leppard on the radio. Oh, gosh. Why did I do this show today? Why? Kim is here. Brandenburg, Kentucky. Welcome. Kilo Oscar 4 India, Papa India. Good to see you. Yeah. And Gunter, 160 is about height. It really is. Yeah. But keep in mind, folks that have 160-meter antennas, if they're using dipoles, they're still running them off of like 70-foot towers. So if you're 50, 60, 70 feet, you can do really well. But it's different, far different than a 40-meter. 40-meter, 40 feet. You'll be fine at 40. Keep it 40, 45, you'll be fine. 160 is a little different because it's such a lot of wire, and you really need it up high because it's a really, really long bandwidth. So 160 is more difficult to work. Robert Varner, sounds like divorce to me, the antenna that is. Oh boy, here we go. Here we go. Yeah. And right, yeah. At least 50 from the ground. That's what I said. Yeah. And 50 to 60, 70, whatever you do. I mean, there's guys that are running 160 that are running them right off of 75-foot towers, and they'll have them up 50 feet, and they're doing fine. They're doing just fine. Daniel likes 40, 60 if he's feeling sassy. Very nice. Hi, Adorm. Good to see you, mate. Mike 7, Tango X-Ray Kilo. Good evening, guys. A little late. Was eating some chili. Very nice. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Thank you. Gunter Welke says, give her a pearl necklace, too. Let's not go overboard here, okay? Just the necklace. It doesn't matter. Just, yeah. There you go. The Unlucky Ham. He's a lucky ham because he's nice. Kilo 9, Kilo Mike Victor from the beautiful city of Chicago. Welcome. Welcome. Good to see you, mate. Glad you're here. Man, what a great day. Good day to be here. Let's get in trivia. Currently, the world is leading North America 20-10. Here is question 1. The prefix Victor Yankee 2 identifies what? A, Prince Charles Island, B, Prince Edward Island, C, Prince William Island, or D, Prince George Island. Prefix Victor Yankee 2. Which one does it identify? This is, of course, in Canada. A, Prince Charles Island. B, Prince Edward Island. C, Prince William Island. D, Prince George Island. Please answer one time per person on the first time through, and we will let you get in part of the game. Currently, the world's beating North America by 10. Anton says 17's my favorite band. I like 17 too. It's very versatile. It really is. And you know, it's less crowded than 20. It's not a contesting band. It works great at Gray Line. Totally understand. Yeah, and thank you for being a new subscriber. Well, that honors me. Thank you. Thank you very much. First one up is Rod in Pennsylvania. He answers B, Prince Edward Island, which is a good thing because some of these other ones are not islands at all in Canada. So you got it right. Okay. That's great. It's a tie game, 2020. There we go. Some of these aren't even islands. They don't even exist. But here's where Prince Edward Island is, just north of Nova Scotia and a little bit east of New Brunswick, right there near the Gulf of St. Lawrence in northeast Canada. So that is where Prince Edward Island. These other ones, for example, okay, Prince Charles Island does not exist. No, excuse me. I'm sorry. Prince William Island, it does. Prince Charles, no. Prince George, no. Those are cities, but they're not islands within Canada. Oh my gosh. Oh, there you go. That's the way it is. Okay. Adam in Ocala had B. Anton in Holland had B. Daniel had D. Gunter had B. He was right. Andy had B. Correct. Chris in Scotland had B. My friend William in Wisconsin had C. Andy had D. Jason, welcome back. You had B. Hadoram had C. Mike had D. R.L. Dingler, welcome to the show. It's nice to meet you. Thank you for coming. It's an honor to have you here today. Thank you. He had D. All right, so he had B. Excuse me, he was right. Yeah, Prince Edward Island. Here it is. Again, that is your, then it is. It's simply, that is VY2 only. That is Prince Edward Island. All right, trivia question number 2. And this is old school television. Okay, this doesn't exist anymore. By the way, Dave, I don't want to miss you. In Argentina, guest B as well. So that was nice. Thanks, David, for playing. Okay, this is old school analog television. Okay, not the way it is anymore, but it's analog. Pretend we're going back in time. You notice while surfing the TV channels that there's a strong signal from a station on Channel 8 nearly 300 miles away. Which amateur band should you try for an unusually distant QSO? Would it be A, 160 meters, B, 40 meters, C, 10 meters, or D, 2 meters? Remember, this is from the old days when analog television was on VHF. That should be your clue, okay? So, which was it? 160 is A, B is 40, C is 10, and D is 2. Channel 8. Channel 8. Where was it? All right. Answering this one, first one up, Adam in Ocala. He answers D. The answer would be the 2 meter band, and that's VHF, and he is 100% correct. That's right. Yep, it is. Channel 8 used to operate, and I say used to because everything's digital now, and really everything's on UHF, and they just digitally, take it to a virtual channel. That's really what it is now. It's no longer really, broadcasting on 180 to 186 megahertz. But that's where Channel 8 used to be, right between 180 and 186 megahertz. In the old days of television, before we had virtual or digital television, so it's really what it is, we had to have everything over the air, okay? And over the air meant analog, and it was VHF, very high frequency. In the U.S., they changed everything so that everything had to be vacated on the VHF frequencies because they wanted to increase the ability for emergency communications to be on those frequencies. So they moved everything way up on VHF, but through a digital converter box, it would make it a analog station that just converted it to make it back to Channel 8. It's a long story, but a lot of those guys are like on, VHF 33 or 37, and then they call themselves Channel 8. Congratulations to Will Myers in the state of Wisconsin for getting that right. Adam in Ocala got it right, as well as R.L. Dingler. Anton got it. DX Scotland got one. There's Mike, David Lurcia, Andy New, Glenn Stevenson. Well done. Our mate, we're going to call you Chicago, MV Chicago. I like that name. Great city. Oh my gosh, I love Chicago. I gotta go back. I really do. Hadoram had D. Will had D. Jason had D. Gosh, Gunter, Germany, and a Justin Bieber Boulevard on Lady Gaga Island. No! Don't do that. We're really getting bad now. We're getting bad. Adam, quit saying old days. Well, it was, right? It was. I know we're getting old. It was the way it was, right? Grumpy also had D. So did Gunter, and so did Rod. So there you go. Yeah, television was cool back in the day, right? When they would sign on the air and sign off the air. That's why we used to play TV sign-offs at the end. It's to remind us of what it was like a long time ago. And fun too. Remember television was fun, and now it's gotten so different. It's just everything's cable or streaming. And some of it's, by the way, if you have an over the air antenna, you could do great, because now digital has multiple channels on it. So like, instead of your market having 5 TV channels like it used to be, now there's like 30 to 40 of them, because they're all digitally being broadcast on subcarrier channels. Digital TV was a good thing. And now we'll have to decide if we're going to go to 8K from 4K or whatever K, and hopefully we get it all done, right? Robert Varner, the old days for me are the 60s. Yeah. Me too. That's the earliest of days for me. Folks, if you have a thing you've done on radio, or you've got a photo you want to send me, maybe of your shack, please get me at cqhamradiolive@gmail.com. We'll make it part of the show. We celebrate what people do here. We do. We celebrate what you accomplish in radio. We played great clips from Kevin and Gunter and Tom and lots of folk. We did Adam's Shack yesterday. We really do try and celebrate all of you in amateur radio. We want to thank you for joining the show. I want to thank you for being a part of it. It's literally about a 1-hour show about radio. We all talk about it. We all enjoy it. We all celebrate it. Okay. We're going to talk today about filters on radios. Okay. This is a superhead. Now, filters, for young hams that maybe don't know about filters, think of filters this way. A filter is kind of like a funnel. Okay. The signals come in at the top. They go through the filter and they're squeezed down into your radio at a smaller wavelength. Okay. That's how filters work on superheads. Okay. Super Heterodyne uses crystal filters to be able to bring things in a little tighter so your radio will be more efficient. That's how they work. Okay. And many radios, you can order tons of different kinds of filters, and they were very expensive usually too, which you'd put on your radio so that when you used it, you could automatically change the bandwidth to a smaller bandwidth and yet still hear everything without ringing and without things being too squished. They made them sound good. Let's take a look at a few of them, right? Here's a crystal filter from Kenwood, okay? And you can take a look. It tells you a little bit about it. Bandwidth 270 hertz, okay? So this is going to be for CW. Here's a 6 meter filter. So this would be used on a radio that did not have 6 meters natively. They would put this into the radio, so it would be a 6 meter radio. So there's a little filter, crystal oscillator filter there. Here is a Yaesu filter that's being used on I believe they're FTDX 10s and the FTDX 101s. It's basically to be able to bring your bandwidth on CW down to 300 hertz, okay? Now, what's nice about filters on super heterodynes is if you have a radio that has lots of filters already in it, you've got not only a more valuable radio, but you also have a more efficient one, because you can make the bandwidth come down so it gets rid of the static or some annoying, signals coming in from close by. But you also have the opportunity to hear the person better. If it's a weak signal, you can hear it better. SDR is completely different. On a software-defined radio, it's all computerized. It's done through the field programmable gate array of the radio. The incoming signal comes through. If it's a digital signal processing radio, like the ICOMs are, it's going to come through and straight in through the IF, and it's going to go into your field programmable gate array. From there, the computer adjusts everything: bandwidth, notch, noise blanker, digital noise reduction. It does all of your DSP functions in a computer way, all right? In ICOMs, it's that way. In Yaesu's, on their 101 series and their FTDX 10, it's a hybrid SDR. So it comes through with a crystal roofing filter at the front at 9 megahertz. From there, it goes into every bit of the train of the audio train going in, and then it goes through the field programmable gate array, and you control your radio with it. Either way is fine. I mean, I'm not going to knock one or the other. I like the way the ICOM works. I like the way they sound. It's just my preference. Doesn't mean that Yaesu is bad or that Kenwood is awful. There's no way I'll sell that superhet right there. And so for that same reason, I understand why people have Kenwood or Yaesu or ICOM or Elecraft SDR superhets won't get rid of them because they're fantastic to use. My Elecraft K3 had every one of the sideband filters in it, every one of them. And it was a joy to use because as I would narrow the passband down, it would automatically keep coming in. But without that filter, it would stop. Okay. So for example, starting out at 2.7 kilohertz. Okay. If you start at 3 and you go to 2.7, you can't go lower without the filter that allows you to go lower. That's why they were so valuable and why you want them. They allow your radio to work more efficiently. Without them, you have a limit to how low your radio will be able to squish the band and get rid of noise so you can hear better. Let's take a look at real quick on the radio, and I think I'm going to show it in this video here. Here is, first of all, I'm going to show it during this clip. It's the HF Activity Group. This was them today on 15 meters, and I do a segment where I show bandwidth and how you adjust the bandwidth on an ICOM. However, the same applies to a superhet. If you have additional crystal filters to be able to lower things down, it'll accomplish the same thing. The brilliance of a super heterodyne radio is a lot of times it sounds really good. They're very beautiful radios. They sound wonderful. Want to hear beautiful sound? Listen to a Kenwood rig. They're beautiful sounding rigs. Want to have a very efficient radio that's easy to use and also sounds brilliant when you use it right in terms of setting it up? ICOM's phenomenal. I love ICOM. I'm not trying to put anybody down. That's not what this is about. It's literally about SDR versus superhet. SDR requires additional roofing filters so you can make the passband smaller so you hear better. Super heterodynes are that way. Software-defined radios have everything built in as a computer. It changes everything for you as you adjust everything through the field programmable gate array. That's where all of the magic happens for an SDR. Doesn't matter if it's Flex, Elecraft, Radio, ICOM, or Yaesu. They all do the same thing. It's through the FPGA that everything is adjusted. Here is 12-meter activity group, and me doing a little bit of work with showing you bandwidth and adjusting filters. This is the bandwidth filter adjustment that can be adjustable to anything you want it to be. Same on the 7300, same on the 7610. It's the same on the 7600 for ICOM. And if you have a Yaesu, it's going to work the same on a 101 or an FTDX10. Same operating system. Here we go. Okay, and so here is 12 meters, and you can just see how different it is than 15 today. And this is propagation so far. And again, it's only 1105. Again, the HF activity group now on 12 meters. Signals have dropped tremendously from where they were on 15, at least for me and for, it seems like quite a few others that are, monitoring this activity group.
Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of West Coast, Bud. This is N4RLD. Anybody wanting to check in here on 12? N4RLD. Go ahead.
Kilo 7 Hotel November. Again, okay, sorry for the noise.
KD6BIS. I hear Bob, KC7 and KNY, and who else was there?
Kilo 7 Hotel November, Ricky.
Kilo 7 Hotel November, Larry there in Oregon. Who else we got?
And so this is 12, and he's thankfully hearing me in Georgia, which is good.
Victor Sugar India, Terry, I got you KM6BSI there in California. Who else?
So
Kilo Delta 5, is it Juliet X-Ray Fox?
Okay, so let me do this. I'm going to go back here. That was 12, and I made some calls on 12, which is great. And what the HF activity group does, which is cool, is they just tell you, you give your call sign, you call CQ, right? You call CQ, and you wait. So you basically would be like this. You just go CQ, CQ. This is Kilo 7 Hotel November, Kilo 7 Hotel November, calling CQ and listening for a call, or listening, and that's it. That's all you do with that group. And then you'll all of a sudden hear somebody say, 59 Arkansas, 55 Georgia, you're 57 in Mexico, And that's how it works. It's not a rag chewing group. It's literally about finding out how propagation works. It's phenomenal. The right video is here where I talk about how you change your bandwidth. And it's a good video because it was at a time when I could really show it to you with stable signals. Right now, conditions are kind of like this, and I caught it at the right time. So let me show it to you real quick. Okay, since the HF activity group, we're on 15 at this point, and what people do around North America is they let you know what your signal report is. Okay, and I've went through this, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fast forward this. I'm going to move it up so that you guys don't have to go through all the same stuff that you've seen before, okay? We're just going to go up, and I'm going to go up to the point where I'm adjusting bandwidth so you can see exactly how it works and how I set mine up. And that doesn't mean how you have to set yours up. These are just the way I like to set if I'm going to especially be able to work DX. Since we had someone from Mexico and I couldn't hear him well on 15, this was a great opportunity for me to show you this is how I work DX with my 7610.
Got FT991A, and I'm going to have FTDX10 delivered this afternoon. If FedEx
Talk quickly about filtering. Here we go. Set them up. 3. Next one is 2.7. Next one is 2.4. Okay?
Well, I tell you what, I didn't recognize the voice, but I heard the Oklahoma a few times, so welcome aboard time. We do this on
This is a nice set if you're going to run SSB. 3 kilohertz. Wide signal.
K5IGO Gear here in Oklahoma. Anybody else that hadn't had a chance to call or want to check into the 15-meter activity group?
Hear how it works. And what's nice is if you want to change everything up, say, for example, you say, no, you know what? I'd rather go a little tighter on that second filter, maybe 2.4, let's say 2.6, okay? So we go to filter 2, and all we do is hit bandwidth, all right? We go down to 2.6 bandwidth, right? All right. And let's say we say, okay, I don't really think I want to go at 2.4. Let's go to 2.3 or 2. Let's go down to 2 on filter 3, okay? Sorry about that. Thought I hit the button. Did not. So we go here to filter 3, hit bandwidth, and we're going to go down to 2.3. And here's 2.2. About as tight typically as you want, but if you're working really low DX, hard to get, 2.1. See how it narrows?
Get this afternoon now, but anyhow, this is Kilo Mike 5 Quebec X-ray. Kilo Mike 5 Quebec X-ray. It's the 15-meter activity group. Who can hear me over? 30 over
53 into Oregon, 5-3 Oregon. And that's all you get. So that's how you set them. Different filter settings as well. Sharp filter, or you can shape set your own. Watch. Listen. We'll get a signal coming in that we can rely on, right? It's going to be stable. And you can adjust it.
I appreciate the comeback. Take care of yourself. Be safe. Keep warm. Back to you, Gary.
See? Change everything. Now, if you want a shape set, you can do so right here.
November 7, Golf Charlie Zulu Don and Oregon. Go ahead, my friend.
Let's say you want 600 hertz to be sharp, right? At 600 hertz. Soft. Sharp. Just that one part of your receive frequency. So we'll leave, I like my sharp. Let's take a look at the next one. And this is digital.
And over Oklahoma City.
See, not much digital, not much there. Okay, that's for digital. Okay, if we were in CW, we'd go here, right? So sideband,
All right, Don, stay warm up there. Nice to hear
digital,
today.
CW, and then it changes again as we go up, right? So we go to sideband again here at 600 hertz for 50 meters. So that's 50 meters. Presetting is soft. You can also go sharp if you want to. So sharp or soft on 6 meters. Okay, but for sideband, this is how you can set your filters.
6 HDVs out in, just out east of Oakland, out east of the Bay up there. Go ahead and call, Mike. Let's see who's hearing you from the Bay Area today.
And this will probably little video there on filtering and how filters work. Filters are a way that you get rid of all of the noise you don't want to hear. But what I love about filters even more is, let's say there's a station that's really weak, right? And you're having a hard time hearing them because they're coming from a long ways away. That's when you really want to use your filtering, because you're going to, even though he's transmitting at 3K wide, he may be at 2.7 to 3 kilohertz wide. That's his transmit signal, right? But he's coming from 7,000 miles away. That's not going to come through at 3K wide where you are. You're going to get a part of that signal. The filter allows you to squeeze down your received passband to hear as much of that part, but no more, as possible. And that's what you're trying to do. It's an art, and it takes time to learn. The good way to do it would be to learn on shortwave or learn on your AM, even on your medium wave broadcast. A simple way to do it. But filtering makes a ginormous difference in how your ham radio performs. And remember, listening is twice as important as transmitting. It is, because you've got to be able to get all the information. You got to be able to get the call sign, which sometimes can be hard, especially if it's weak. And you got to give a signal report, right? Okay. So if you have both of those things in your head, you're doing great. But it takes so long to get to the skill where you can know, okay, I got to move this filter. Let me show you on the radio here, and we'll give you a good idea exactly what I'm talking about, okay? So we're on 15. I'm not going to make calls today. We're just going to listen, okay? Let's go to WWV and see if we hear them well. See, that's a noise. Just a lot of noise out there today. See that? That's because of the geostorm. So we're going to try them up a little higher. Let's try them on the 15. Let's try them up on 15 megahertz. See how they sound on 15. There they are. All right. And I've got everything on. I've got my noise reduction, noise blanker, everything. Okay. Good signal, right? Okay. We're at 6K wide. Let's take a look at our filters. And again, we're using AM, so it's a different filter set. Filter 1, let's say, for example, I want this to be wider. See how much it could be wider? The orange is squished the way it's moved, and this is how you do it. The twin passband tuning controls, the top right of the radio, adjust this. See? Now it's matched.
Coordinated universal time.
But if I want wider, like I should be able to go with AM, I can go out farther than 6. You can go all the way to 9. But look what happens when you get out to 10. Hear all the static? That works similar to when you're using sideband and you're too wide and it's a weak signal. Okay? You bring it in, and I always keep this at 8. Excuse me, I usually keep it at 9 for strong. So I go 9 first for my AM, 6 next. Listen to the difference. And here's 3. And 3 is a bit narrow. This is when you're really DXing hard. 6 is a nice number to keep it at. You'll hear very well. Let's listen to Jane Barbie.
Acetone, 21 hours, 3 minutes. Coordinated universal time.
See? And there you go. And here's a message from Hawaii. Let's listen. And we have abysmal conditions today. I mean, just abysmal, and they're up and down. It's the way it is. We'll now hear from Colorado the same thing. Wait till the tone.
Beginning November 15, 2021, this will be broadcasting a test signal on minute 8 of each hour on WWV and minute 48 on WWVH. This signal has been created to assist in ionospheric research under the joint effort of the Ham Radio Citizen Science Investigation and NIST. The signal consists of various tones, chirps, and noise bursts. The signal will be broadcast for several weeks. For more information on HEMSCI and the WWVH project, please visit www.hamsci.org/WWV.
There you go. So there you go. Special announcement from WWV. And, it really comes down to just adjusting your filter and play with your radio. If you play with your radio and you play with it long enough, you're going to have a lot of fun because you're learning how to adjust things for your ears. It may not be for everybody else's ears. And that's why I say I know will never work the radio the way you work it, ever, because everyone has their own style. And that's what makes the radio fun. That's why there's all the buttons and knobs on it to begin with, doggone it. That's why they're there. It's so you can use them, but use them your own way. It'll help you. Bandwidth and adjusting them and getting ready for DX is really, really important. When you set your radio up, make sure you know how it's set up. Look at your filters. Look carefully at your filters. Take a look at their widths. You want to make sure that the widths are set up in the way you want them to be, okay? So preset them the way you want when you're hearing DX. Start with a wide number so you can hear well, maybe 3 kilohertz. 2.7, that's a good band. That's a good bandwidth to be at because 2.7, a lot of people are transmitting here. You'll still get local, but you'll catch some DX. 2.4 is a great one to get if you're trying to work someone tight, right? And don't forget, you can still go quiet. You still go thinner than that. You can make that 2.4 down to 1.8 just by the turning of the passband filter tuner buttons. Simple, just simple. Tuning a radio and using them for, receiving is so important, and you can really have a ball with your radio. Truly can. Let's catch up with your comments. By the way, I do want to say, Mike, welcome from Chicago. There we go. I think I got it right, Mike. Is that it? There we go. All right, gotcha. Ferdinando from Italy, my friend, welcome. It's good to see you. It's really good to see you. Dick, Scotland, Chris, remember when we had strong auroral openings and Swedish TV used to take over analog channels? It was brilliant, I can imagine. Wow, that's funny. Glenn in Australia, by watching the snow on TV in the summer, it cooled us down here. No. Chris in Scotland, who remembers having to get off your backside to change the channel on your big old clunky TV? Yep. Oh, yeah. Yep. Didn't have the remote control. We were the remote control, right? Andres Kyle, welcome from Norway. Lima Bravo 3, Bravo Juliet. It's good to see you, and I hope things are well. Things are great here. I'm really enjoying it. It looks like maybe the sun is out. That's a good day. We're grateful for that. Catching with your final comments. Here's Rod from Salem. Larry, is there a best bandwidth for set? No, it depends on how it's coming in. If it's weak, you want to narrow it down. It comes to your own ear too. I'll turn the radio back on. Let's take a quick listen, and I'll explain why. Because there are some signals on 12 meters on 20 meters that are coming in. The issue is that our conditions are kind of bad today. So showing a lot of radio today isn't really the greatest thing. But let's take a look. Here's a signal right here.
My goodness, it's another Californian on 20 meters. I don't understand this skip at all. I got you about a 5.7, Alan. 5.7 here at Kilo 7375 QSL.
Okay. 2.4. He's very weak.
73, Alan, and very nice to meet you. Our first QSO. The name is Greg. Hope to work again. 73. This is Kilo Juliet 6 Echo Romeo QRZ. Kilo 4. Yeah, Kilo X-ray 6. I got a big signal from Kilo India 7 Romeo, perhaps. Come again?
See, that's at 1.8 kilohertz, but you can still hear him. It's a strong signal, but you can also hear weak guys with this too. Listen.
Out there in Arizona. I'm telling you, it's these, I can't believe the skip is so short and long at the same time. Kilo India 7 Romeo Hotel Juliet. Let's see. I'm sure you're about a 5.7. I'll double check it. 5.7 here at Kilo 7375 QSL. Roger. I'll take the 5.9 plus. And you got the park 7375, okay? Oh, it's my pleasure. All right, let's try something new because the short is skip, but it's also long at the same time. Anyone along the East Coast? Give me a yell. Go ahead.
Hit the November 4.
Okay, I heard some stations, but it is light, so let's try that again. Along the East Coast of the U.S. or thereabouts. Go ahead. Kilo 9 Bravo Delta Fox. Let's see who that is. It's Brian in Indiana. Well, I guess that's kind of...
See, you could, and that's at 1.8. You can still bring it back out. Just hold the button and you're back to 2.4.
7375, Q is out. Roger, Brian. I'm at Park Kilo 7375, okay?
Now we're getting only 2 kilohertz of a 3 kilohertz signal, but we're hearing him clear.
East Coast. Anyone out there that I can hear? Go ahead.
Kilo 8 Romeo Delta Golf.
Uniform something. Kilo 0 uniform. Come again?
See, that's why you do that, Rod. And I can't stress enough, when you narrow down the passband, you're more likely to hear a really weak station. And the reason why is because you're not hearing all the other the static with it. You're hearing most of the signal. That's it. And I think, I mean, geez, we had it at 1.8, right? That's really narrowed for an SSB signal. But you can still hear it because the radio is smart enough to know it's trying to get on the main part where the voice is coming in and squeeze out the sides just so you can hear the main data that's coming through, which is the voice. So you're trying to hear as much of the voice as you can. That's a nice question. Yeah. I try with mine. My filter is always typically on sideband. I'm usually going to start right about 3, and then I'll go 2.7, and then I'll go maybe 2.4, because I can always go down from there. But yeah, everybody has their own. And yeah, me too. I play a lot with my settings too. Yeah. It just depends all the time on your mood too, right? It just is. Andy if I tried to call those HF activity guys, that would be the definition of optimism. Maybe. Just wait. Just hold on. You'll be surprised. They have net control also in Georgia. Okay. Keep working. Okay. Foundation, get that intermediate license. Okay. 50 watts. Does a little more, right? So hang in there, Andy. Okay. You're doing well. Paul Butt, back from Eugene, Oregon. Good to see you, and I thank you. And Gunter, I think this is the comment of the show, because if you want to do DX, you should be wearing headphones. Do not do this and use a speaker. Seriously. I mean, I know there's cool speakers, and I know they look great, and they're matching your radio and all that. But if you're serious about really working DX, get a set of cans, because you want to hear things. You can hear things much better, but you also have the risk of turning the volume up too loud. Don't do that either, because you can ruin your hearing. It's not worth it. There's so many hams who are elderly now who can't hear very well. It's because the headphones were loud for too many years. Watch your hearing, but make sure you try and use headphones, not a speaker. That's a great comment. Gunter, thank you for that. That's the comment of the show. Yeah. Mike, another tip is use WWV to see how propagation is. Yeah, you can do that. Absolutely. Yeah, you can find out how well WWV is propagating. Also, beacons. Beacons are really a big deal. Big deal. Mike in Chicago, how was your field day? You know what? I just kind of made calls here. I just kind of did stuff for the show. I want to spend some time doing some more radio stuff, but I try and do the show every day the best I can. I have a surgery coming up on my nose. That is going to be pretty bad. So you'll be probably seeing the faceless host soon on the show, Mike. Yeah, a little nervous about that. Indy's back. That's all the way from Australia. He's a good mate of mine. Indy, welcome. Good day, Larry. Just finished unloading and out across the plains to listen to you and reload. Fun, far, it's flatter out here than West Texas. I've seen both. Wow. We've been watching these shows on wilderness, being out in the wilderness in Australia, because I've thought about you a lot, Indy. I really have. And man, some of the snakes y'all have out there. I'm sorry, mate. I don't want anything near that thing. Man, like just Google search the inland taipan and you're like, nope. Or the sea snakes too. Oh my gosh, just crazy. Good to see you. And that's our dear friend right there. That is Charlie from Red Summit RF, November Juliet 7 Victor. My gosh, what a treat. Charlie, good to see you. Thank you. Yeah. Headphones are so important. I keep telling to my dad, put the headphones on. Stop using the speaker, please. Because it really makes a difference. You hear everything that way. But, what I'm showing you here is my preferences. Use yours. Learn to use yours by just listening and using your radio. It'll all be fine. That's what it's about. It's about having a lot of fun. All right. We're going to close the show. Going to do a new sign off. I haven't done this for a while. This actually is from Panama. So I hope you enjoy it. I want to say a big thank you to Jose in Mexico for a wonderful QSO earlier today. I had a ball with that. That's only my second QSO into Mexico. And I look back, no one confirmed it yet. So Jose, I hope you confirm our QSO because that's my first one. Yeah. All right. Folks, our whole passion is to help you get in amateur radio. Let's give Indy and Glenn some love today. Wireless Institute of Australia, wonderful place to contact to find out how you can get your ham radio license. Find them at www.wia.org. Let them know where you're located. Even if you're not in Australia or Tasmania, they'll find a ham radio club that's near you, and they'll help you get your license. Once you get your license with that ham radio club, they're going to help you study right, and they're going to answer questions, and you're going to figure things out to pass the test. It's different when you use a radio. You learn to pass the test, then you learn ham radio. www.wia.org. Enjoy the sign off. It's from the beautiful country of Panama. My name's Larry. My call sign's Kilo 7 Hotel November. We do this show because we love radio. I'm grateful you do too. From the four winds of the world, God bless you, and thanks for watching Ham Radio Live. Goodbye, everybody.